Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to lesson 2-4. We're going to look deeper into solving equations by making it a little more complex. So before, I solved multi-step equations by only finding the variable on one side of the equation, right? So I had like 5 equals like 2x plus 3, and the variable is only on this side, okay? Now today, you are going to solve equations with the variable on both sides of the equation, so it's going to be a little more complex. And I'm going to determine whether it has only one solution, no solutions, or infinitely many solutions. Alright, so you're going to have something like 5x equals, right, 2x plus 3, and I have a variable here and a variable here. It's going to add a little bit extra steps, but we're going to still use the same process of the inverse operations when we are solving for the variable. Instead of PEMDAS, we're going to use SADMET, okay? Kind of undoing the order of operations. So, check it out. Let's look at example number 1. Here's Common Core standards and all that jazz. And we're going to learn about the vocabulary identity. Alright? So, number 1. You are going to solve 8 plus 5c equals 7c minus 2. And we are also going to check our solution. So, let's write it out right here. Okay? So I got 8 plus 5c and equals 7c minus 2. And write this with me. Alright. So what I want to do first, okay, is I want to isolate the variable c by itself, but it's here and here, okay? So what I have to do is the acronym SADMET when I undo the order of operations and want to find the variable by itself, right? But I have it on both sides. So SADMET still applies to terms that are like terms, right? A like term must have the same variable and the same exponent if I want to combine them by adding or subtracting, okay? So if I want to have only c on one side of the equation, I need to subtract 5c from both sides, and I can't do that because 5c and 7c are both like terms. So I do that, right? I'm fulfilling, kind of doing subtraction and addition first. So I know this is going to cancel on that side, and I'm going to draw equal sign down here. One thing I really like to do when solving equations and finding the variable by itself is creating an equal sign, like all kind of at the same level, so it keeps my work really organized and I know what I'm doing on both sides of the equation. Okay? So I am going to get 8 on this side because the 5's cancel out, and then the 5c's cancel out, and then 7c minus 5c is going to give me 2c, and then it's going to be minus 2 based on what's dropping down here. Alright, so now after that, I still have subtraction and addition. Over here, I have subtraction. So what's the inverse of subtraction? Addition. So I'm going to cancel out this 2 by adding 2 on this side, because what you do one side, if I want to cancel this out, I have to do it to the other side. Okay? So this is going to cancel out. I'm going to draw the equal sign right there where I drew that dotted line. And 8 plus 2 is going to give me 10. And then I have 2c left over on this side. Alright, so I am done with addition and subtraction. I am good on this step. So, now, can I do any division and multiplication to cancel out cancel out numbers to get the coefficient by itself? Okay, I have 2c over here, 2 times c. What's the inverse of multiplication? Division. So I'm going to, if I want to cancel out 2, I'm going to divide 2 on this side. I'm going to do to one side, I have to do to the other side. Okay, so this is going to cancel out. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so that is going to give me c. And what is c? It's going to be 10 divided by 2, which is 5. And that should be my answer. And I did all of my division and multiplication. Alright, So it's also telling me to check my solution. How do I do that? Okay, if I want to check, let me use a different color to show my check. Okay, if I want to check my solution, right, all I have to do is plug c equals 5 back in. Alright, plug it back into the original equation where c is over there. Okay, so I'm going to replace all the variables c with the number 5. Alright, so let's write it out. 8 plus 5 times c is now 5 times 5. 7c is now 7 times 5. Okay, let's plug it back in right there. Minus 2. Alright, and now let's simplify each side of the equation first and then see whether they're equal on both sides. So give me 8 plus 25 equals 35 minus 2. And I get 33 equals 33. Alright, this makes my equation true because 33 does equal 33. So that is correct. This is a thumbs up. Alright, this is my correct solution right here. 5 equals c, or c equals 5. Okay? So, good way to solve that. Alright, now let's look at a little more difficult question. Oops, let me erase all this. Okay, here's a little tougher question for example number 2. And this time I'm looking at stuff, oops, okay, that has parentheses. Okay, so we're going to have a little extra steps here when I want to find the variable q, okay? And we also see that there's q on this side as well. So we see there's two variables on both sides. So first step I want to do, I'm going to write step number 1 over here, is that I want to simplify, and feel free to write these steps down. Okay, the expressions on each side of the equation. Okay, so I'm going to simplify on this side, okay, using the distributive property because this value is multiplied by all these quantities in the parentheses. So this is going to distribute here, and this is going to distribute here. Same thing for this right here. So the 6 is going to distribute to 2q, and also 6 times negative 7. So this is side number 1. Okay, this is side number 2. So when I multiply 1/3 times 18, that's the same thing as doing 18 over 3. Okay, because 18 just multiplies by the numerator and is divided by the denominator. Alright, so same thing over here. 1/3 times 12q is going to be 12q over 3 like that. Okay, so that's that. And what it's equal, I'm gonna bring this down, and we're gonna continue simplifying it as we go. All right. So 8 over 3 is 6 plus 12 divided by 3 is 4. Okay, so and that q still stays there. Because I just multiply 12 divided by 3, and I'm gonna get 6 times 2q is 12q minus. Okay, 6 times minus 7 is going to give me minus 42. Okay, positive times a negative gives you a negative. Alright, so now I have this problem very similar to problem number 1 now. Okay, I see that both sides are simplified because I can't add these terms over here or subtract these terms over here because they're not like terms. Okay, so second step is that I want to find the variable by undoing the order of operations. Okay, SADMEP. So let's look at subtraction and addition first. Okay, I first want to get the variables on one side of the equation. So let's get rid of 4q. Subtract 4q on this side. Okay, we do to one side, do to the other side. Like that. And I'm going to draw that little line down the middle to make my work organized. Okay, this is going to cancel out. This 6 is going to go down. Okay, down here to 6. And then 12q minus 4q is going to be 8q minus 42. Alright, I still have subtraction over here. So what is the inverse of subtraction? Addition. So I'm going to add 42 on both sides to cancel that out on there. And then add it on this side of the equation. Okay, I'm going to get 48 equals 8q, right? And this is canceled out. Cool. So, now what I'm going to do, I am done with subtraction and addition on both sides. So that is that. Now let's move to division and multiplication. I have 8q, or 8 times q, to cancel out multiplication. I'm going to divide 8 on both sides. I'm running out of room. Okay? So this should be a little fraction right here. Okay, the fraction line. So 8 divided by 8 cancels out to give you q. And then 48 divided by 8 is going to give you, okay, 6. Alright, so I'm going to get 6 equals q. And that is my solution. Okay, right there. Once again, if you want to check your solution, all you do is going to plug in 6 back into, okay, you plug in 6 back into where q is. Alright, if I want to figure out whether that's true or not. Okay, and if you notice here, only q equals 6 works in this equation, meaning that this is only one solution. Okay, only one solution works in this equation. If I try to have q equals 7 or q equals 8 and I plug it in here, it's not going to work. Okay, because both sides of the equation are not going to equal to each other. Alright, so I want you to try some example problems getting the variable by itself when it's on both sides of the equation. Alright, go for it, folks.